everybody, Don Carr, and I'm here with my friend, the rig doctor himself, Mason Marangella.
Thank you for having me.
See you, sir.
Dr. Don.
Dr. Don. Dr. Rig.
Yeah.
Rig doctor. Yeah, that makes more sense. Gator Vertex pedal boards.
Yes.
These are fantastic.
As you can see, we've got a couple of different models here today, and these may be familiar to some of you that have sort of been in the Vertex ecosystem over the years, but we've re-released these in new sizes, new features, and all the important stuff that you know and love, like the hinged riser system where you're able to build up as opposed to out, to have what would ordinarily require a wider or deeper pedal board can now be accommodated by way of the risers. We've also added some really cool stuff that's coming in the ecosystem. We've got a whole new line of modules, and one of the coolest new features that differentiates these from all the others is that we're now able to even mount power supplies under the entire board and bring those up from the bottom. So we're going to get a chance to kind of go through the 4 models, all the different riser permutations. These are all interchangeable, by the way, so like if I wanted to take this riser and put it on this pedal board, I would have the ability to do that.
Fantastic.
You can make it for a right-footed person, you can make it for a left-footed person, all that stuff we're going to go through, and we're going to see some built versions as well, so we can kind of not just visualize some of the features that these platforms offer, but also what it looks like once it's fully built with pedals, so that you really get a sense of the space savings that it offers.
Having the feet, wow, what a nice addition, man.
Yeah, having the power supplies underneath, and you'll get to see more when you see the built versions. But Gator has fabricated these feet that allow us to not only mount pretty much any low-profile power supply, whether you're talking about Walrus, the Strymon R300, Zuma, the Ojais, the Chalks, the DC748, all those fit underneath here. That really has taken a huge load off of my mind, and being able to just really make sure that what's occupying sort of the underneath the riser space is really just dedicated for pedals. And some of the utility stuff that I don't need access to is kind of hidden away, so it gives you some of those benefits of just being able to bury the power supply like you would on some of the more popular brands from Pedal Train and Temple and brands like that, where you can go underneath. The other thing I should mention, Don, is that all of the pedal boards now come stock with a gig bag, and that was one of the big issues that we ran into with the original pedal boards, is that we always had to make them to the size of pre-existing cases, either by Gator or some of the other manufacturers. So now, and you can kind of see these behind us, we have some beautiful heather gray gig bags that come with shoulder straps.
Very distinctive.
Yes, and also include zip ties, tie mounts that you can get. They also include some Velcro, and then we have some upgrade kits if you want to use 3M dual lock Velcro, which is kind of the professional standard for adhesion for pedals to the pedal board. So we'll show a little bit of that as well, and then we have hard cases coming down the line, and we also have some existing or pre-existing Gator cases in the Titan series and a few other models that also work and fit many of the size pedal boards that we already manufacture with. And again, everything that you love about the original boards is here, but we've got some new sizes, we've got some new features. So I'm anxious to go through kind of each model and sort of talk about some of the features.
Yeah, let's check them out, man. So this is the Travel Lite.
Travel Lite, 17 by 10. This is the only size that is being carried over from the original versions because it was so popular with fans of the pedal board. So the basics here is this is roughly going to fit between 8 to 12 kind of standard size pedals. I'll show you a little bit about kind of how that looks in just a moment. You've got a riser that has 3.5 inches of height from kind of the floor of the pedal board to the top of the riser. It mirrors the same width of the pedal board, so it's 17 inches, and then it is 6 inches deep. And then again, you've got routing holes right through the front there, so you can bring up cables from underneath, whether you want to do a localized power supply for just this level, and then maybe want to fit a power supply underneath that feeds all of the pedals on the main surface. And you'll also notice here, and we'll get into this a little bit later, that we do have routing holes on the side for modules that are going to be coming that include everything from AC power, if you've got multiple power supplies, or you've got pedals that already have AC equipped power on them, and you want to consolidate to a single IEC to the wall, We also have buffer modules, which has been something that people have been asking us to re-release. We've partnered that with Gator as part of a buffer module package that will be available as well. We'll also have something that's just a straight pass-through. If you like the buffers that you have, or you've got a switcher of some kind, you don't want to duplicate buffers, we're going to give you pass-through so you can get in and out of the board very easily. And then we'll also have some that sort of combine and hybrid, where there's a combination of pass-throughs in MIDI or pass-throughs in XLR if you want to run your DI out through there and kind of have a consolidated hub for all of your inputs and outputs. It's going to be a great way to be able to sort of keep everything in the ecosystem, make it as compact as possible.
Yeah, so all the gazintas and gazatas you could possibly ever want.
Exactly. Exactly.
These two they're nice, man. That's really
nice
robust,
framing.
man.
Yeah, we really try to take some extra steps in making sure, because these cases, they're made out of fabric, they stretch over time. So how to make sure that it's tight enough where it's going to hold everything together, but it's also going to kind of evolve with the pedal board as it hangs in there for a year. Yeah. You still sort of have the original shape.
Right. Well, and also, the nice thing about it being just a little bit soft too is depending on the height of your pedals and knobs and stuff, it's all going to be a little bit different. You want a reasonable fit, but you don't want to like squashing it.
Right, right. And I think people will find that it does a really good job of that. It comes with a shoulder strap, and again, if you open up the case, you'll see that it comes with, a few little goodies to get you started. So you've got some standard kind of hook and loop style Velcro that comes with it. And then you also have a little starter kit that comes with some zip ties and some tie mounts. And then if you want to upgrade from there, we have an upgrade kit that includes more zip ties, tie down mounts, and the 3M dual lock Velcro that again is an upgrade kit, and you can kind of buy however many you need to match the number of pedals that you have.
Nice. Yeah, and man, inside pocket, exterior pocket.
Yep.
That's really
plenty
cool.
of storage to go with it, and it fits great in here.
Cables and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that because I have a fully built version, we can kind of see practically what this looks like once you assemble.
Yeah, because honestly, when you say 8 to 12 pedals and you see that size, it's like
it's kind of hard to visualize. Where does it go, right? I mean, I know you've got the ability to build up and everything like that, but fitting that many pedals, where do they go? So let's pull over one of the built pedal boards, and we'll see what that looks like. Here is a fully built Travel Lite 17 by 10, and let's just count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the riser. Then we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus we've got a true bypass loop switcher, a power supply for up top, and we also have a power supply underneath.
That is packed, my friend.
So this is about as packed as we can go, but we have this thing pretty chock full. So ordinarily, I don't care what other pedal board brand that you mention, there's no way you're going to fit this many pedals in this amount of square inches. And so we just have really figured out how to kind of get this to be as compact as possible. And I credit the fact that, I was building rigs professionally for 17 years. And so we kind of ran into all the gotchas and kind of the things that you want to look out for in order to consolidate space. And I think right now, with pedals being sort of one of the crazes of the music industry, and also stage space at an all-time sort of limited amount.
Carry-on space too, man.
Right, having something like this where you can build up, you can have all the pedals that you like, you can bury stuff that you have either access by way of the true bypass switcher or stuff that's always on, whether that's utility stuff like buffers, DIs, etc. That can all live underneath the riser, and again, you just have the ability to flip up. You've got access to stuff if you need it, or you got to troubleshoot. But this is kind of a good example of what's possible. You also see here on the side, and I'll kind of turn it this way toward the camera so you can see a little bit better. And we've got one of the power modules that's sitting there on the side, and that's just consolidating so a single IEC out to the wall. And on the other side, I've got kind of a makeshift version of one of the pass-throughs that's just bringing all of the cabling in and out of the pedal board, so I just have an easy place again to consolidate all my connection points so that I don't have to have cables coming in and out of all different directions of the pedal board.
Exactly.
So that's Travel Lite. This is an example of it fully built, and I think we should go up to the Tour Compact, and that's going to be 23 by 13.
Yeah, let's check it out. The Tour Compact. Here it is.
It's here. It's 23 inches by 13 inches, and it very much resembles kind of what you saw with the Travel Lite. just a little bit wider,
right,
a little bit deeper, fits a few more pedals. I would say, kind of based on what you saw there, you could fit somewhere between 4 to 6, depending on what size pedals they are, how large they are. Now, you'll notice this doesn't have any space yet for you to be able to use an expression, volume, wah, unless it was one of the more compact versions, you know, like some of the mini size. But one thing, again, that is so cool about the ecosystem of these pedal boards is if I wanted to, say, buy the 17 by 10 riser a la carte, I could do that, and all of these are designed to be interchangeable, so I could fit that riser onto this, align it to either side of the pedal board, whether I was right-footed or left-footed, and then I can accommodate a wah or a volume or an expression if I wanted to use it on this platform.
Wow, yeah, that's cool. Or no riser, of course.
Or no riser, yeah. And so that's another thing that should be said, is that every one of these pedal boards, you could use it as a traditional flat board. You still have the ability to put the power supply underneath the entire thing. There's nothing that prevents you from doing that. So you can buy them a la carte as just the platform. You can buy it a la carte just as the riser, or you can buy it already pre-assembled with the riser and the pedal board.
Right. Well, and just even having the little extra width, like if you just want to get just a little more space between the pedals, you know, say you're a Doc Martin guy, or you got a triple E width foot or something, one of those, you know. Yeah.
So yeah, that's this version of the Tour Compact, and then we actually have another version of the Tour Compact, which is slightly larger, which is 27 inches by 13, and we'll kind of see that here in a moment. And basically, it's just going to take this, it's going to expand a little bit more. This riser size is actually going to remain the same, and we're just going to be adding on some space here on the side to be able to fit an additional wah, volume, expression, whatever it is that you want in that position. So let's swap those out.
Right, let's see it. Yeah, let's see it.
So now we have the larger of the Tour Compacts. This is the 27 by 13, and basically it's taking what would have ordinarily been the 23 inch. You have a little bit of space here. You can put your wah, volume, expression, whatever sort of treadle style pedal you want here. You might even have a little space for maybe a tuner on top, depending on what size kind of wah volume you have. You have a more compact one, say like the Exotic, which is a little bit shorter than a standard wah. You could potentially even fit a full pedal up here. And then if you have a normal size wah, maybe you wouldn't be able to fit anything too big, maybe a TC Polytune Mini.
Sideways,
something like that. But again, all the features that you saw before, we still have, you know, the ability to do all of the module mounts, you know, whether that be power, audio, buffer, whatever it may be. Those fit on each one of the sides. You still have the ability underneath to be able to mount your power supply should you want to do that and bring it up from the bottom. So all those things are still the same. Again, comes stock with a gig bag, but you can always upgrade to a ATA hard case or in some of the pre-existing Gator cases that are already out there. And again, just kind of giving you more sizes. This one can, you know, depending on the size of the pedals, can fit somewhere, you know, between 15 to 20 small pedals, kind of, again, depending. If you use a true bypass loop like I had or a switcher, that gives you even more options to really bury stuff that you don't need and then be able to access that remotely.
Man, or if you've got older pedals that have maybe a funny shape or just are kind of a little oversized or whatever, man, it's just great to have the little bit of extra room to do it. Still a lot of firepower on this size, man.
Yep, absolutely. And again, all of the sizes that we've seen so far for risers, all interchangeable. So smaller size risers can interchange with this. You can align to either side. Again, it gives you a lot of flexibility. If, let's say, you like this platform size, but you had two expressions, or an expression and a wah, or expression and a volume, or whatever combination thereof, you could get the 17-inch wide version and then be able to fit those on this particular pedalboard surface. And then again, you can buy the surfaces a la carte. You can buy the risers a la carte, or if you just want a nice flat board with power underneath, you can also just buy it as a flat board.
Man, it's fantastic. The modular aspect is incredible. Love it, man.
So I think now we should move to the largest size, which is 31 by 13. It's called the Tour Elite. And you'll see it kind of, again, just expands upon this. The riser remains the same, and then we just expand out a little bit more, and gives us, again, more opportunities to add more treadle style pedals or just have things that are separately without a riser. And let's pull that out and see what the Tour Elite looks like.
Let's do it. So this is the largest size.
The largest size, Tour Elite 31 by 13. And again, what you see here, you got plenty of space to kind of have two of your favorite wah volume expression on this side. This is a really great ideal one, especially for people that use switchers, true bypass loopers. You can really get the most out of kind of this duplicated space. place, because in anything under here that you're controlling remotely, it just allows you so much more flexibility to be able to do that. Or things that maybe you have that are MIDI controlled, that you're using a controller to be able to do all the changes for that. It's really handy for that.
Right. Well, and to, let's be fair. I mean, big but not ridiculous.
Big but not ridiculous.
I mean, seriously, it's not like you're carrying a Volkswagen or anything.
Definitely, and the fact that this is made out of aircraft aluminum just means that it's going to stay really light, really sturdy, and so where the lion's share of the weight is being made up is in the pedal selection, and that you're not eating up a bunch of kind of like the possible cost of moving a pedal board for travel. In the actual pedal board, it's the pedals that are the things that are dictating the weight. So
and it's nice and rigid too, though. That's the other thing. It's like, because a lot of times when you get a board this big that's one piece, you have that potential. Not here.
Yeah, not here. And generally, it's if you're trying to lighten the pedal board by drilling holes, things like that compromises the structural integrity. So we're really trying to just make sure that we're maintaining the integrity of the size, and making sure that it is sort of built appropriately with the thickness of the aluminum and all that stuff in order to make that happen. But I've got a completed one that we can look at to sort of get a sense of the number of pedals that would fit on this particular surface, so that you can kind of visualize what something that's a little bit more together would look like. And I think we have one from our very own Mitch Gallagher here at Sweetwater.
Let's check that thing out, man. The completed version.
I think it gives us a pretty good sense of, let's count. What do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Underneath, what has he got? Tonex. 23 pedals on 31 by 13. You name me another pedal board that can fit this many pedals on this amount of space, making the most out of all 31 inches here. And this is an incredible number of pedals that ordinarily would need to be a monstrous pedal board in order to accommodate.
Yeah, or some kind of U-shape, or or multiple boards or whatever. Yeah, here it is, all in one board, ready to go.
It's not just that it's got these cool magnetic hinge risers. It's not just that we've got these cool modules that can be built out. All this stuff has been vetted by the fact that I've been doing this professionally for almost 20 years. And so there are different tells that I look for as somebody who's a rig builder to say, what are the things that actually need to occur here in order to ensure that it's small, it's rigid, it's going to last a lifetime for the person that's going to be using it.
Yeah, for the end user. Well, and that's really the difference, is that, again, you were doing this as a living, so if your customers weren't happy, that's not good. So you had to, I'm sure you had to, change and fix and, reconnoiter a little bit all along the way. And so this is the culmination of all your experience.
Yeah, and even doing it in this kind of style and format, we've evolved this over time to sort of reflect the gotchas that come up as you are in the process of seeing what other people do. Because I have my sort of ways of doing it, and I try to demonstrate that on our YouTube channel and the best practices. But ultimately, it's you out there that's going to be building this, and so we're trying to sort of meet those two things in the middle, sort of my experience in building, and then how somebody who can take a DIY kind of approach to this and be able to get something that looks really neat. It's going to be really reliable and serviceable for them, because most of us don't have a tech that follows us around, so we still have to be able to make sure this thing's working when it's not.
Exactly, man. To completely functional, that's really the deal, and everything is so accessible with this format. I love that. And also the other thing is that the pedal game has changed a little bit too. You know what I mean, in terms of the shape and the design, and certainly how much you can get in a smaller pedal. So there's a lot of things to consider, and this just kind of brings it all together, man.
Yeah, I'm so appreciative, Don, for you hosting me today, and I hope what the main takeaway is for anybody that's watching this is they see that we've got 4 different sizes. You can buy them as standalone surfaces. You can buy them as a la carte risers. You can mix and match anything on here. You can mount a low profile pedal power supply underneath. And we're really trying to make this sort of a one-stop shop. You've got everything that you need in one place. You've got the cases, you've got the gig bags, you've got all the interchangeability of the ecosystem, and then you've got, hopefully my videos are out here, either here at Sweetwater over on the Vertex Effects channel, where you can see all my tips on how to build these effectively, how to route them, all that cool stuff, so that you're able to sort of take that ideology, that method, and then kind of graft that to your own rig.
Yeah, man, to make your own pro level rig.
That's right.
Hopefully, you know, if you put enough care into it and take enough time, and man, because your videos are super informative and really helpful, and especially for somebody that's a newbie, you know, doesn't have much experience doing this, they may not know what the pitfalls are.
Yeah.
You know, that's really kind of the key. And already just the build takes care of a bunch of that, which I think is fantastic. And again, man, I'm all about the modular aspect. I love that.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled to get a chance to show these off for you, and for you to host us here today at Sweetwater. And again, I hope people go and check these out over on the website.
Absolutely. Mason, thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you have any questions about these pedal boards or anything Gator or Vertex, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer, or you can check it out at sweetwater.com. Thanks.